Trying this for a while instead of talking Brian's ear off. Get the live stream on, babe. It looks just black though. It's not picking up anything. It's weird, huh? Yeah, I definitely don't want the light to come on. Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's not pitch black here, but it's all right. I'm sitting on the bench smoking cigarettes. Wait until it seems, reasonable to be able to lay down without being told to get the fuck up. So, one definite positive thing is that the bathroom is open again, so that's good. I don't know. I'm sure they don't have internet. Okay, just if you could please try not to destroy the place because, right, we need to be able to urinate. You can go so many hours. The train station's open till what, 12:30? Right, that's late enough because then it's open again at 5:30. You only have to go 5 hours. That's reasonable, not 12 and 14 hours. That's unreasonable. So, bring a friend because the door doesn't lock. Bring a friend, put your bag, like not so they can't open it, but if someone goes to open it and they can see a bag there, right? Just if I had to guess, so people don't lock themselves in there. Try to act like adults out here, please. Well, I'm sure it was unreasonable to the people that live here and the tourists that there was no toilet. Right. You don't want this place to turn into Quincy or New Orleans. It'd be nasty. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. It's a city, so that will begin to stink. There's no forest to step into. In case people didn't know this too, as wonderful as the public showers are, there's no toilet. They just don't have the ability to have the toilets open when you're using the public showers. I don't know what's going on with Tasty Burger. Brian said they added a code. I don't know if that means you can't use it. Is that what you were saying, Dave?
You have to go ask for the code.
You have to go ask for the code.
I want you to work.
I don't know. I used that bathroom a bunch of times. It seemed fine, so I don't know what's with the asking for the code. Ask for the address. Yeah, what's my address? Why would you harass people working at Tasty Burger? That doesn't walk in. Yeah, it said in the bathroom door to ask you what my address is. Some people would say to do that. I'm thinking you don't have millions in the bank if you work in a Tasty Burger. All due respect. Some people have some videos on YouTube I saw where they're discussing the cost of living. I think I mentioned already one of the rangers at the state park was saying his friend works with ex-convicts, and they put them through a working program so they can work and they can't afford to pay rent. I know you just go, yeah, a bunch of ex-convicts working and still sleeping on the ground. We have to be able to access the services. I can't spend my entire paycheck on trains. I just can't. It's bad enough we have to pay for the commuter rail, but I will say this. With the reduced fare card, you do get a reduction in the cost, but I paid for all those. This is the other thing, too, I got to gripe about again. I have ordered a new reduced fare card twice. I have not gotten. Just know this, MBTA, but I don't know if my name's attached to it. Okay. Unless it was my husband, but I'm pretty sure he got a new card, so I don't think this would happen. If that card is being used, that person stole it. It wasn't, no. If that card's being used, someone stole it. I had one sent to Broad Street and one sent to Boylston Street. I didn't get either one of them. I have a card that was shut off, and I think I know what happened. My husband and I both ordered cards for the first time. And then we received them last year, a year ago, when the program first started. And I think I mixed up whose card was who because they don't have names on them. Okay. So his was lost. And so we ordered a new one, and I think mine was shut off because it was actually his, and I didn't know it. So he had mine, that's what was lost. Okay. So then when my card was nullified and I finally figured out it was probably that, I ordered another one. And it was supposed to go to Broad Street, never got it. Or tried to order another one, and then there was two cards on there, like at some point in time I had registered a regular Charlie card. That's what ended up getting mailed to Boylston Street. That's no good to me. I need the reduced fare card. So then I went back on and did the other number, and nothing showed up at Boylston Street. So it was just actually funny that I asked the guy how I get the card, and he said I go to Downtown Crossing. But didn't offer to put me on the train to get there. And I guess this is the other thing about just this whole thing with the campgrounds. As much as I want to go back there, it's like everything seems to be just blocking us from doing it. It's very frustrating. Apparently the orange line isn't running from Downtown Crossing right now. I guess you can still get there. You have to take the green line. Could you imagine? Okay, could you imagine all your gear for camping, including a cooler, and now you've got to get on the green line? Because it's a bus from Oak Grove that takes me to the campground I wanted to go to. Wampatuck isn't going to work because they don't have their non-electric sites open anymore. As soon as the 14-day rule was over. I don't like Massasoit. Neither one of us did. Walking to food is way too far. And same thing with Pearl Hill. It's 7 miles to food, to a grocery store, each way. The only thing that's bad about Harold Parker is there's no TD Bank out there. So anyways, I don't know how long this is going to be going on with the Orange Line at Downtown Crossing, but you can get to Downtown Crossing and then apparently you just walk that Washington Street. There's a thing there. I'm going to have to do it eventually because at this point I'm not getting any mail. We'll have to check it again this week now that we're back. We just checked it a week ago. Yeah, and he had a ton of stuff. We got, no, I'm sorry, it was 3 weeks ago. Okay, maybe there's more mail then. That was 3 weeks ago, babe. We'll have to check the mail again this week too. We checked it before we went to Massasoit, and he had a ton of stuff from Social Security. It's going like right in my face. It was a week ago Friday, I think, that I dropped off the stuff at Social Security office. Or Thursday. Did we do it actually Thursday? Yeah, we did it Thursday. We slept Thursday night and then we're woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning being soaked with rain when it wasn't supposed to rain. So I got to check the radar again. I just remembered. And then I was scheduled to go out to Foxborough on Friday to pick up my Chromebook. And then we stayed a week. We came back today. Today's Sunday. A week and 2 days. So I feel like completely exhausted. Yeah, just hopefully my glycogen's depleted or something. It's a pretty hot sun. Well, because I was doing so much at the campground and then I did country grammar when I got to Foxborough and then I took a walk. So then it probably is hard to tell. Well, I know my sister said her back was really bothering her. Yeah. Her friend's got a cough. Brian's been really tired. He seems better today. It almost feels like kind of like my hip flexors or my upper quads or something. Sure. I have like that exhausted feeling in the lungs. Well, I had a dough when I first got there, and then I think I've been pretty good about carbs. I was pretty much cooking like just about keto with Brian because we didn't have that much vegetables. So probably dehydrated, I think we both agree. Not drinking enough water. Which is bound to get worse when you're living outside because you're always worried about where you're going to pee. See how I feel tomorrow. Yeah, I was doing a lot of carrying. I was carrying a shit ton of stuff today, but it's like I didn't really carry it anywhere. I might just be worn down from 7 weeks of. Yeah. I had to get a bunch of stuff back from there, and I still couldn't take it all. The next time I go out there, I should be able to get it. And now we've got to straighten up the storage because it's just going to take a day and organize. I was just saying to Brian, was divided up into 4 sections. One section's camping, one section's sleeping stuff, One section's for the trip and one section's like our everyday clothes. We were able to do laundry twice while we were at my sister's. She has the coin operated stuff. And we're going to have to go again because we have a bag of dirty laundry in the storage. So. A bunch of people because it's like the cheapest place to get storage that I know about. So that's not a good place to be making people feel like they can't get back on the train. We have to go there twice a day. We have to go there twice a day. Yes, just for sleeping. And we're in Harvard. That's quite a ways. We're not walking from Harvard to Quincy Adams twice a day. Sorry. We wouldn't do it by choice. Did you see us doing that for 6 weeks? Or you didn't see us at all for 6 weeks? Right. 7 weeks. You didn't see us doing that for 7 weeks, right? I did. I don't know if it was on the live stream. You just go, do you have to pay $2 every time you go to the toilet?
It's like cold while we were like long distance.
Cost of living. I'm sure you're not paying, and there's two of us, I'm sure you're not paying $4 each way to check your meal. We'd still have to get back and forth, transit police, Braintree Stairwell, but we'd only have to go from there to there with our stuff. The Braintree Stairwell is not a bleeping shelter. Yeah, we know. Because we can lay down there. We could until you showed up. The warming center doesn't open till December 1st. She knows that people don't sleep in there in the wintertime, right? Anyways, no, we don't sleep there. You won't see me trying to sleep there again. Nope, I'm completely traumatized by it. It was like 3 or 4 nights of it. They come in with this super loud noise to wake you up. Oh, yeah. She just did it by screaming at the top of her lungs, but the police use a noise to wake you up. Yeah, they don't get near you because they probably know it's not your fault to be like whatever. Some people get, you're a homeless person and someone's shaking you, telling you to get up. I don't think they think we're dangerous. It's just clearly you're on hyper alert. And then they sort of, you can tell in the stuff that they said us, they just go, oh my God, these people are like the meekest of fucking people. They're just like, okay, thank you.
Even if this was
Exactly. One of the women that was on the YouTube talking about the cost of living and stuff says, I don't know how people are doing because they don't fucking pay for anything. That's how they're doing it. They're fucking criminals. That's how they're doing it. That is how they're doing it. Pay for a fucking thing. Just raft alone is up to $7,500 a year. Do you think that your electric bill, if you added it up by 12 months, would ever be $7,500? Well, that answers your question. Then you have some people that are hiding money so they can live in elderly housing, and all they pay is 30% of what they're telling the housing authority they make. And they just talk like that's normal. Also, I again was told about someone that was living there that applied for Walnut. No, why? Why are you doing that? Other than you're anonymous and you're just trying to find out what's going on, you go, they called them for an interview. They already figured out what they would pay for rent and everything. Anyways, I just call that complete mass insanity. It's mass insanity. And then someone's living there and she's got a kid living somewhere else and another kid living somewhere else. That would be why a 19-year-old was given an apartment. Mass insanity.
It just looks fantastic on my
Some people don't want their parents living with them, apparently. Yeah, they don't want their parents living with them. Some people are actually living there because that's what they can afford. And they're elderly. Right. That person isn't even elderly. She has a medical condition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's difficult sometimes to listen to me and not understand why I find some people vile, and I really don't find them fantastic and nice and great. Um, one of them told me they're leaving. They can't stand it there. They've applied to other towns. They want to get out of there because of the people living there. That's what I was told by the person. And that if the person gets into another thing, that person isn't talking to anybody that lives there. Just that person's experience with that particular complex. Well, for one, someone made sure that two homeless people went back to the street. And then one of those homeless people was attacked and almost died and has brain injury now. Too much gossiping and cackling and attacking other people, yes. Like some of the fights are like juvenile, like, you're in junior high school again. Some people don't really want that for their living environment, and some people do. So that's a reason for people to try to move somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, say that someone reported us, right? Because my sister was almost evicted because of it. Okay. And then say that that same person or people, they go person to person attacking them and reporting everything that you're doing, or just constantly talking about you. Yeah. Right. So if that person moves and never talks to anybody, it wouldn't matter what people are saying because that person isn't going to know. That person isn't going to have to listen to it from. And then this one is saying this, and then that one said this, and then da da da. Yeah. I sort of agree. I guess someone had told the person about, I don't know if it's just elderly housing or public housing or something, or apartment complexes in general. And then the person's like, oh, he was right. You socialize outside of your living environment. Yeah. No, I'm not telling everybody to do that. I'm saying if you go, yeah, I kind of like can see that happening and you just sort of stay out of it. Yeah. I personally, myself, um, if I had a couple of friends and then all of a sudden two of those friends had some kind of problem, I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. Yeah, that's just me. I want nothing to do with it. And honestly, if you don't stop it, I'm not going to be friends with either one of you because why would you even? That is so juvenile. I don't want to hear anything negative about that person because that person's a friend of mine too. I don't want to hear from you, and I don't want to hear from you. You should sort of feel bad if you messed up two people's friendships too, I think too.
Can I come to your office?
Oh my God, yeah. Like I'm actually super duper happy for her because um, certain things that was sort of like a hindrance to her in her life. It seems, yeah, she definitely seems happier, right? I was telling my husband I would go mad. Yeah, I would go absolutely mad. This is how you know, too. I mean, I guess maybe because it's different because of what's happened to me, it puts like a blockage from like meeting people, but you just go, I can't think of a single person. Okay, I'm married, so clearly I'm with my husband of it every day. I'm talking about someone who's not your spouse. I can't imagine a person on earth that I would want to spend hours every single day with. Right, especially in my apartment. Yeah, it's good when people actually want that for themselves and they find it. I think that's good. Yeah, just I would go insane. I like a lot of time alone in my like living space is my living space. Right. It's like I do. I don't even know if I'd want to hang out at their place, but you know, you go in places, you're doing things, and then that's it. Like it just, Yeah, I just know myself very well. Sometimes something starts out good and you think that that's going to be good, and then after about a week you're like, I can't do it today, or I don't want to. Yeah, just I'm starting to, I can tell that I'm getting like it's becoming too much for me, and I don't want to. It's like a schedule, like work. I do this. I could do this every day, as some for a couple of years I did, but hanging out with the same person every day, no. I just know I would just had a flash of like how Brian and I were at the campground too. Just that one woman, she wouldn't stop walking onto the campsite as she was talking, and it's like, and I said a couple times we're not really social. Yeah, and I had to get to the point of going, I just don't want. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking to you, and if you could stop walking on my campsite towards me. Because that was basically our apartment for 2 weeks. It's even different than the bathroom. Some people might be like, that chick is like moody, she's like schizophrenic or something.
Why is it kind of free? Where?
Oh yeah, and not when you're in the toilet, no, but in the bathroom. Oh, hello, good morning, right? But then a person's just walking on my campsite talking to me. No, that's like my apartment. Oh yeah, and I was explaining the setup too, like in those apartments, it would actually kind of work because the bedroom door closes before the bathroom. Oh yeah, because it's attached to the bedroom. The bathroom has a door. Okay, it's attached to the bedroom, but also it's a person leaves when they have to go to the bathroom. It works out for the person living there. Right? You just go. I don't. No, I actually don't share my bathroom. There's no bathroom here. Yeah, so it limits how much time they do. The apartments are very small, right? And then they also, it's sort of a protective measure so you don't get, if you're a meek person and a person's aggressive, how do you get rid of them? Some people aren't good about that, like, um, right, like, yeah, like it's a little bit too much or whatever, like way back in the day, people would have like dinner parties and stuff. They'd make plans, they send out invitations, that type of thing. You have to remember it in the context of its elderly housing. Okay, so they all have an apartment there, and it's very close together. Okay. Well, you could. I just want to remind people that my bathroom is locked. Okay, so Make sure you tinkle before you come over. I don't know. No, I think that she's good about different people's points of view and stuff. Yeah, just no, she likes having people there. Yeah, she likes having people there. Whereas if I was living in an apartment, I wouldn't. Yeah, especially an apartment that small. When Brian and I thought we were getting an apartment, we're like, we're never having anybody here. That's why in that complex that I would not go to, by the way, I've warned people. Yeah, you got to kind of trust me. And then what happened with the electric bill should make it even more so, unless they're going to tell you that's not them, that they contacted Eversource and they should not be sending me a bill. Because I contacted Eversource too, and they said that account was already closed. Okay, so how would it be reopened? So, anyways, they have a room for entertaining. It's a whole separate room with the kitchen and chairs and everything. Because, yeah, you go, these apartments are tiny. They're really not made for that. They're not going to tell you not to have people over. Right? It's just. What time is it, babe?
56.
Okay. Well, it sort of begins the nervousness, especially since I haven't been here in a while. You get pretty severe PTSD living on the street uh, because you live in a constant state of fear. And then you've got to find a place to sleep because you're street homeless, and then hope no one comes and tells you to move. It's not even really about being attacked, but being told that you can't sleep somewhere when there's literally nowhere for you to go. It's very, very scary when people start talking about um, you just keep telling homeless people to move, and they go to some shelter that doesn't exist, and then they can't have tents, and they're going to put you in jail. They're going to put you in jail because people are mentally insane and won't give you housing. Yep. Well, it's Sunday, babe. We'd still be sitting at the library right now. It's Sunday, so the library closes at 5, and this other place closes at 7 every night. So it will be back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Um, and then, of course, holidays are even worse. Um, it's always sort of, I'm numb to it now, but in the first 12, 13 years, you're on a holiday, you're having a holiday. So you're not on Twitter going, okay, well, I'm not going to say something that's on cable in case people only have the internet. So I'm only going to post a video from YouTube if people want to watch it. You're not doing that. So I do actually believe that some people do deserve to die. Yes. And by die, I mean extinct and not come back in this physical form. Well, so that other people don't have to sleep on the ground or sleep sitting up and live in fear about where they're going to sleep and pee. And can they take the train to get their meal that day? Or get to the place where they give out food and clothes? Are they going to make the showers before they close that day? Is there going to be a place to brush your teeth today without someone screaming at you that you can't be doing that? Yeah.
The one plus size.
Well, my sister, when I'm there, lets us cook. Okay, she takes us to the grocery store, and she actually buys stuff too, even though she shouldn't be doing that. Like stuff for my apartment I didn't get. So I have one person that was given one of those studios and can't have overnight guests, and she's under constant surveillance because she's still one of their captives. She would let me go there and cook. The other ones, they just go to housing and then they never say, do you want me to, if you buy eggs, do you want me to boil up a dozen of eggs and like bring you like 6 of them or something? None of them do that. It's sort of mixed. I don't really expect it because of my whole sort of philosophy about life ego. Yeah, I'm sure. I probably don't make any sense. But that's part of the horror of going through this when people are that profoundly insane. Clearly, in nature, I wouldn't be living like this. And I could be in nature, but you won't let me live in a campground. So it is that. This isn't even Berlin, for fuck's sake. So, anyways, like I was saying, in terms, I don't see anybody doing anything outrageous with the trains. There's a recording at Quincy Center, and when I heard it, I just said out loud, fuck yourself. But yeah, you got to be careful because they go into a madness where now they're going to make up another thing how we're fucking criminals and we have warrants and all that shit. Oh, yeah, just wait for it to go away. Yeah. once everybody's done being terrorized, and then they realize that no one gives a fuck that actually works there, and then you just hear all day long, fuck again. They do shut it off and someone turns it the fuck back on. Yep. Just as an FYI, people do shut it off and then some monster turns it back on. It might be like a slight glitch that it won't pick up again, or YouTube's doing it. So anyway, like I was saying, I love how it says reduced fears. Like this is where you go, just stick your hand there and the thing opens. And in case the thing was off, someone does shut that noise off, and then someone else turns it back on. Yeah. The DTA office should be giving them out.
Okay. I got the feeling, because I mean, half the time.
I would hope to God that people would agree if your income's $400 a month and you're homeless, that you shouldn't have to pay for a fucking train that takes you to your bedding, takes you to get a sandwich, takes you to public showers, takes you to a fucking doctor's appointment, takes you to Social Security, takes you to DTA office. I would hope to God people would not be angry about that. That just that population of people doesn't fucking pay, because we're all over the place with the trains. I doubt you guys are taking trains that often. Right. Again, I don't believe in paying for anything, but it has to be like that. There's a reason why it has to be like that. For example, they will just take your house. They will just walk on your property and force you out of it and live there. They just gave out all these vouchers to people just so that they don't pay anything. Did you guys hear about the Boston school system, that those people don't pay for transportation? And that includes the entire MBTA. Okay. But you're going to work and pay, and MBTA workers are going to work. I can't make this shit up. There's going to be an MBTA where people are forced to work and run trains and buses, but then they don't pay for it. There's going to be apartments where there's electricity and water running, but they don't pay a rent. They don't pay property taxes. They don't pay utilities. They don't pay rent. They don't pay for transportation. They don't pay for phones. They don't pay for internet. They don't pay for food. And then you just keep breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding, because when you keep breeding, you get more and more housing. You get more than one. They don't generally even live in houses, but they could get that insane because they did it with Section 8s where they got houses. So you say you had a person or two people that had 10 children, they're taking up 10 housing units. And I'm sleeping on the fucking ground. Because they're not like regular Americans. They don't just live in a family and you have some land or something and then your oldest child builds a house on it or something. They don't do that. I was talking about it with my husband earlier about there's a reason why things cost money and animals weren't just printed money because it controls all of this building and pollution.
Well, kind of. Here it says about potholes.
It's supposed to work to control out of control breeding, out of control pollution, and out of control building, which requires tearing down more and more habitat. You can see it once they were flooded with money, what they do. So that's the purpose of it. Never going to stop doing it until God stops them. Explained it a million times. Just will not stop rewarding people for breeding. It's an absolute madness. Married couples aren't families. Do you have any dependent children, especially if you don't have a husband?
Go to a robot block party. 27.
Nice. Someone was saying something, or I read it somewhere about having an. I think it was when they were talking about the cost of living and stuff, and that they have a hatred for regular people. They have no services for like regular normal people. It's true. Because they're trying to dominate you. Yeah, they don't want. Yeah, you're gonna suffer. I like the analogy about letting people do brain surgery with assistance, that they have to have accessible, yes, is that what it's called? Accessible brain surgery? Yeah, they have to have accessibility to giving you brain surgery. I like that analogy. Because now it's going to get mean because you're going to tar over trails because you're insane. So, yeah. Telling me I can't go to college, got a bunch of retards running around with degrees that are meaningless now, and you're going to tar over trails in the state forest. I saw it for myself. They're not even kidding. You go, oh, they must be kidding to show them how insane they are. They're not kidding. Brian and I saw it ourselves, and it's tar. It was bad enough when they packed down all that dirt. I mean, they packed down rocks. They completely cleared out campsites and packed them with rocks. You can't put a tent on that. So that they can drive on them. That's accessible. So now they have campsites that they use asphalt like a parking space. Yeah, it's loud. There's like these two oversized load trucks
What the hell do
coming
you think happened here?
I don't know. Where are they bringing that?
I don't know. Look, look,
I know it does. It looks like a tank, but it's
it's like
not.
it chews up the road or something.
They must be redoing a road down the street. Like, yeah. That was loud for here. Like, it's not getting to me yet. Over the summer, my friend Karen and I was getting to us just because it was hot and there's a constant noise and constant people. Yeah. I just spent a week, right? When you go out to smoke, there's a bench. There's nobody. And it's pitch black.
What do you want to do? You want to sit here, we can get on the train and go there, wipe them back.
I guess I'm going to have to go to the bathroom again. That's the problem with drinking Diet Coke.
What time do you think Star Market closes?
I don't want to go to Star Market because then we have to get back on the train at Porter.
I can handle it something.
I don't want to do it tonight, babe. What do you want at Star Market?
Coffee. It's only like 8 o'clock, right?
I can't see the time. That's the timer for the live stream. Let me smoke one more cigarette, I guess. Because I do have to go to the bathroom.
8:16.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See the difference when you're out here?
What do you mean?
At the campground, as soon as it gets dark, you want to go to bed. And you make me go to bed. And then at Candy's, at 8 or 9 o'clock, you want to go to bed. But when we're out here, you want to keep me up all night.
No, it's because we're not supposed to play over there till like 11. Trust me, I would like to go to bed.
I know, but you were like this before we knew about the 11 o'clock thing. That's new. Anyway, I knew we were going to forget to get coffee at Star Market, even though I said it. I forgot too. It's not your fault. Just okay. So again, on $400 a month, you're supposed to have sleeping supplies, which some people do help with because it's so insane. You're supposed to have a storage unit. You're supposed to ride trains back and forth every day and pay for it. How much is a cup of coffee? Some of you do, which I find quite insane. With the greatest of all due respects, I find insane what you're paying for coffee when you can make coffee at your house. So someone has to be a slave to make coffee, right? Because you refuse to get a coffee maker and make your own coffee, right? I have a hot pot that heats up water and I have to drink instant coffee. So I clearly can't use light cream or whole milk in my coffee. So yeah, some people deserve to die. I'm not a murderer. I'm not going to kill them. I'm completely helpless to it. So God is love. What's God going to do? So yeah, there's a lot of smoking of tobacco that goes on. Yep. Explain it again, I guess, before I shut it off, Dave, and then I'll shut it off. Okay, so in 2020, when you gave yourselves no evictions, no shut-offs for utilities and free buses and COVID money and extra SNAP, and then you refused to fucking put me in housing. You didn't give me the COVID money. You didn't give me the extra SNAP, and you wouldn't hand me a bottle of fucking water. So you're gonna pay. Yep, you're gonna pay, and you're gonna pay, and you're gonna pay some more. I'm always telling they to keep printing you money. To stop giving you fucking free vouchers and free this and free that. You need to pay with cash fucking money. Electronic money on a fucking bank account. You're gonna pay. You're gonna build more housing. You're gonna have more empty fucking housing, more empty houses, more empty hotel rooms, and more fucking money. And then you're gonna tell someone why I am still not in fucking housing.
Well, I don't know. Like, so you have all these crazy standards. You have all these things you're like, oh,
That's not, you have a housing crisis. Not somebody's on a wait list ahead of me. Not I'm supposed to have a voucher. Not someone got their paperwork in before me. Not, it's not true that someone looked me right in the face and said they don't house married couples. Not, that's not true.